Again. This is Michael J. Coyle with Mr. Nick Holmes of both Paradise Lost and the mighty Bloodbath. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm good, man. I've got a bit of a hangover from the last night, but apart from that, it's all pretty good, yeah.
I got the same feeling. I've been drinking half the night myself.
Yeah.
I've been a bit nervous about this interview because, I got the duty doing the review of the new album, which, might I say, is a really great accomplishment on your end and the rest of the guys' end.
Oh, thanks, man. Great. That's good. Glad you like it. Thank you.
Yeah, I've been a big fan of yours and Bloodbath for years. I mean, I got a lot of friends over here that were a bit on the decisive side because they were wondering about your type of vocal style when it came down to the album. But I thought it was a very good change of pace because looking back at Bloodbath's history with Coyle and Peter, they've always brought a different style of vocal to the band, and I thought that your style kind of helped to rejuvenate the band in a way.
Yeah, it's just how I do things, really. There's kind of no point in trying to go and sound like Peter or Mike. It doesn't really make sense to do that. I mean, I've got my own way of doing it, which I did, like in the late 80s, the early 90s. So it's
that's right.
Yeah, I mean, it's I expected it. If there's any change in anything, the Euros are going to get shit because people don't like change, really, and death metal fans are probably worse with that than anything, so yeah, I mean, it's I expected a certain amount of grief, but I mean, once people kind of think, well, Mike isn't coming back no matter how much you fucking post it on Facebook, then we can kind of move on,
Personally, on my end, and also a friend of mine called Alex Palaces, who's actually a huge fan of yours, so much of a fan, he has gone and collected a lot of old Paradise Lost material. On both our end here, we thought that it was a very exciting change because we both know that you have that kind of strong vocal style. I mean, you're a very confident frontman. You're a very when it comes down to your stage presence or when you record, you've got that kind of confidence in your voice. You've got that strength that not a lot of death metal vocalists have. You actually. We in other words, we can understand when you're actually singing when it comes down to it,
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I am quite clear when I do the death metal voice. You can kind of hear what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of time, you can't usually understand what people say. I mean, that's what I think. That's one of the things the guys Anders and Jonas liked about my voice in the early Paradise Lost material. That they always liked the fact that they could understand what I was saying. So, and I think they wanted to bring that element to Bloodbath as well.
That's cool. So I wanted to ask, what actually, how did this all come together? I mean, you and Bloodbath.
We were touring with Catatonia in America about 2011 or 12, and
over here as well for the anniversary.
Yeah, sure. But I mean, they actually asked me when we were in America if I fancied doing the Bloodbath, and I was obviously aware of the band, but I thought they were. I mean, I thought they were actually joking when they asked me, to be honest. And I had a long time to think about it. I mean, a lot of the reason for me doing it is because I love the guys. They're great guys to get along with, and you can't underestimate how important that is when you have to work with someone. Getting along is just half the battle sometimes. So we sort of we're like friends, and it wasn't. I had plenty of time to think it over, and then about a year ago, my mate just said, you should fucking go for it. So I said, yeah, come on, let's do this. Why not? Then that's that.
That's pretty awesome. I mean, a lot of people were hoping that Coyle would come back, but it was clear that he wanted to do Opeth with more of a more prog inspiration. So that left the door open for a lot of options, because a lot of people thought that Peter was going to come back, and some people thought Lars Goran Petrov from Entombed AD.
No,
but I think that was a real surprise when he got announced, because no one expected that, and of course a lot of old fans are going to expect your type of vocals. I mean, you have experience in that, and from what I've heard from yesterday, the new Paradise Lost album is going to have a more death metal tinge to it, if I'm correct.
There's some songs definitely, yeah, but it's not going to be like extreme death metal. It's not going to be like Bloodbath. It's not going to have that intensity of it. I mean, Paradise Lost isn't about that. It hasn't been for a very long time. I mean, when we were death metal, we were never as intense as anything like Bloodbath. So, there definitely with the vocals there will be elements of that, but it's more like I consider it as adding another string to the bow. Really, it's just to add some sort of real atmosphere to certain songs, because the voice really does work well on certain parts in the song. So, but it's not, it's not. People see the headline and they instantly think, right, it's a death metal album. It's like 1991. It's not like that. It's nothing like that. But yeah, there's definitely elements of perhaps things that have gone in the past. But people ask you for sound bites on material you haven't even recorded yet. It's kind of hard to comment on it really. But I mean, I start working on it next week. So so far, I think the drums are nearly finished for the album. So, but it's sounding good so far.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I mean, it's like revisiting the past, isn't it? In a way, because you're going. Yeah,
well, I mean, the Bloodbath thing for me, I mean, it's a big slice of nostalgia. I mean, death metal was a very, very important part of my. It kind of took me into my 20s, and it's a very important time in my life. It was probably one of the most enjoyable parts of my life. Listening to death metal when I was a teenager, I used to absolutely worship it. So I mean, it's been hidden away for about 20 years, and it's quite nostalgic and exciting to kind of look at it, be involved in it again. It's certainly
I'm the same way, really, because I'm a big worshipper of my death metal. It's something that gets me through. It's something that helps me to relieve stress after university.
Right.
Some people have a stress ball. I have bands like Death and also Mortician.
Right.
So the recording process of the new album, I wanted to ask, what was that like for you in general?
It was fine because I mean I got the guys, they write like 3 songs each. They don't collaborate on songs. They write their own songs. Each person writes about 3 songs each. So I mean, I got them to send me the song and tell me where they want me to sing on them. I mean, I wrote 2 songs of Anders, but the rest were already they wrote everything themselves, the lyrics and everything. So I just basically just sang. I just kind of did what I was told to sing. But I mean, I was pretty prepared when I got in the studio. I went over to Stockholm for about 6 days, and I kind of nailed. I did about 2-3 songs a day. With death metal, there's not much ambiguity with it really. It's either right or wrong. It's not like you can do 14 takes of one song and it's slightly better each take. It doesn't work like that with death metal. It's kind of if you got a good voice, you can probably nail it first time. It's just a case of being in good voice, I guess.
Yeah, I mean that's understandable. I mean, so. For the following future for Bloodbath, do you see any future UK shows with this album?
I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know if we've been booked for Bloodstock actually. I'm not sure. No, I've done. There's some shows sort of coming in. I just said. I mean, they always ask me. I just say whatever. Because it's like, do you want to do this? Yeah, all right. So I don't know really. I mean. But I don't think we're going to tour it so much, really. I don't think there'll be time. I mean, once Paradise Lost start, we'll be touring next year, and then Catatonia will be doing new material and they'll be touring. So it's going to be virtually impossible for everyone to collaborate and be off at the right time, to be able to do that. I mean, obviously, Axe is now on tour with Opeth, and probably will be for the next 18 months.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's but yeah, hopefully we could do. It'd be nice to just like one big gig in every country in the world. That'd be fantastic. I'd love that.
Yeah, that'd be great because you mentioned Bloodstock. I remember I saw the last time I saw Bloodbath, they played the 2010 Bloodstock open air, and it would be incredible to see Bloodbath return to either Wacken or Bloodstock. Because it's been a while since the band had performed at either festival.
I mean, we got a few shows. We got about 10 festivals confirmed. Right off the top of my head, I can't remember any because I've got a horrible hangover. But I mean, it wouldn't be too difficult to seek out where they are. But yeah,
that's fantastic. Just talking to Nick Holmes, both have hangovers. This is incredible. Need a raw egg.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the band, the Bloodbath have a very open history. I mean, speaking of Axe, for instance, besides Bloodbath and Opeth, he's also well known for being the drummer for one of my favorite bands, Witchery.
Yeah.
A band I wish to see one day if that moment comes.
Yeah, I'm not actually familiar. Well, I mean, I know the name, obviously, but I'm not familiar with them, actually. It's something I need to just on my list to check out. I haven't got around to You know, I mean, I've known the guy about 7 years. I still have listened to he's been one of his bands, so I have to check that out. But
they've got like five. They got like 5 albums. I'm proud that I have all 5 myself.
All right, cool.
The one I would suggest really is Witch Creek. It featured a lot of special guests from Dark Angel, Exodus, Slayer.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll check it out, man. Check it out. Yeah. Yeah. You see, I mean, obviously, every time I see I know he's been in the band. I'm gonna have to check them out. But
Nice.
There's so many bands, so little time.
Of course. So, when it comes to being a frontman for both Paradise Lost and also Bloodbath, do you ever look back at your life as a professional musician and think, how the hell did this happen?
Yeah, I mean, but we're, as sort of being in a band and doing it for a living, it's you don't plan. You can never really plan anything with music. It's the audience decides what you're going to do. It's other people that decide what you're going to do or where you're going to be with your life. So you can just do your best and see what happens. We never started the band to become professional. We didn't think we're going to make a living from this. It's the same now. I mean, we never plan ahead. The same with Paradise Lost. We don't think ahead longer than like 6 months. You can't really think like that. It's there's no 5-year plan in this game. Certainly not.
So the nickname Old Nick, I've been hearing that a lot since the new Bloodbath has been in production. Where did that come from? Is it the fact that you're the oldest member in Bloodbath, or is it?
It's Satan. It's a nickname for Satan. Old Nick.
Oh right.
Yeah, it's I think Jonas came up with it, and I just because I wanted to be called like Lord or Doctor or some kind of grand name, but
like one of the guitars is called Sodomizer.
Yeah, Sodo. Yeah, I mean we call him that in real life as well. He's got Sodo.
He's got a tattoo.
He's got Sodomizer's tattoo. He has, yeah.
Yeah, next to his merciful fate tattoo.
Yeah, it's a big missile fit fan. Yeah, so, but they just, I think Jonas came up with it, and we just sort of, I don't know. It's kind of like, I could talk about myself in the third person if I use the name Old Nick. I could talk about Old Nick. He's different to me, It's like Alice Cooper does. So.
No, like a separate persona. So when you're doing Bloodbath, the image that was first shown with you, the robes and also the whole white makeup, that's Old Nick.
Yeah, it is. I can sort of like make a complete arse of myself and pretend it wasn't me, So.
That's brilliant. That's incredible. So, looking over the years as well, what would you say has been the biggest accomplishment at this time for you in the present era of music?
I think just being able to survive so long, it's pretty tough. I mean, it's certainly tough to make a living from it. It's really tough now. I think just being able to survive as long as we have. I mean, and it goes fast though. I mean, you do an album and then you do touring and then like it's 3 years gone, and 3 years goes so fast when you're touring and stuff. It's before you know it. I mean, I remember going to festivals when we were kids and we were the youngest guys there. We were the youngest band there, and now we're the oldest band at most festivals unless Saxon are playing, or Motorhead. So it's like, it's funny. Time just fucking flies by. Absolutely flies. I mean, like I said, Paradise Lost going nearly 28 years now, so it's fucking flown.
I mean, I remember when I first got into Paradise Lost, I was back in high school, and I saw this, a friend of mine had the album he brought in to try and get me into new music, and he had Draconian Times, and it was the artwork alone that got me interested. It was just like, whoa, trippy.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was a time when people bought albums, and the artwork was always super important to us. Because obviously you listen to the music and look at the artwork and the whole imagery and the music combined. I remember with the Iron Maiden album covers, it was the same when I used to look at Maiden covers, Celtic Frost. So I mean, the artwork was always, and it still is important to us, really. And I don't think people give as much of a fuck about it as what we used to do, but I do think I still like to see nice artwork.
Well, for myself, I still buy CDs and cassettes and vinyls. I'm a big collector of my old-fashioned music. I'm not a big download kind of person.
Yeah, no, it's always nice to hold the physical copies. I mean, especially like I said, the vinyl as well. I mean, I only have to pick up a record, and I kind of go back 25 years. You know what I mean? In my mind, it's the vinyl is definitely a really nice thing. Gonna miss it really.
Well, let's just say here, I've pre-ordered the CD of the new Bloodbath, at least, just to help support the band.
Cool, man. Well, thank you for that.
Yeah, well, it's like I say it to a lot of people. We live in a very damned era when it comes to music, because it's all about musical downloads. And I tell people, wouldn't you rather want to hold the physical, actual objects in your hand? Because data can just fly away, and with an album, you can appreciate the artwork, you can appreciate the booklets inside.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's. I mean, when you don't have a physical copy of something, it certainly makes it far more disposable. You know, that's the thing.
Exactly. Data.
You know, you can listen to something and think, "Oh, I don't like it," then delete it. You know, but I mean, I remember if I bought an album, if I didn't like it, I would fucking listen to it again and again and again, purely because I paid money for it. You know, I thought, I've got to fucking get into this. I paid like £7 for it or something.
Exactly.
And then eventually, if I didn't like it, then I would take it up to the shop. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I kind of missed that. But you know, that's life, I guess.
So, in 2014, are there any new bands that you'd recommend to the people listening?
I've been kind of recently. I mean, I get into new bands, then I realise that they're like an old band because I kind of talk about them for 3 years. But I think Pallbearer is the last Pallbearer albums, the last thing I kind of got into, really.
Yeah.
I kind of listen to the whole album, which is unrare. I mean, I usually 20 minutes of any band I've usually had enough, but I like that album. I play it in the car a hell of a lot, you know. So
nice.
Yeah.
Let's see. Trying to think of one of the questions here. It's just off my mind. What the hell?
All right.
So, before you actually go on stage, are there any pre-gig rituals that you do for yourself, like anything like a drink or food or something you think you have to do beforehand to prepare yourself?
Usually I have a large Daniels and Coke. That's a bit of a ritual that, you know, we've been doing Paris Lost, I guess it'll be the same with Bloodbath. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's just, I only have to smell Jack Daniels. It just reminds me of going on stage, really, because I've done that all my life. So as soon as I smell it, I just think of going on stage. So it's, I mean, then usually I don't touch it afterwards because that's fatal. But yeah, just a bit, it's like a couple of shots of Jack, and that's about it. I mean, there's no kind of massive prayers or anything, you know. I just usually pace the room, but that's because I'm nervous, so that's not a ritual. That's
just usual body antics.
Yeah, I mean, some days. I mean, it's funny with nerves. Sometimes I'm really not nervous whatsoever, and then sometimes I'm absolutely shitting bricks. And it doesn't actually matter what size audience it is either. I can be nervous in front of 10 people. You know, it's weird. And then other times, it's weird. I don't know what governs it. You know, but you know, that's life, I guess.
So, I mean, what on any days off you get to yourself? What do you normally do? Like, do you like to travel around, or do you like to look through things beforehand?
I mean, when we tour, I mean, a lot of the places we tour, we've been to probably dozens of times. So I mean, there's certain places I know where there's nice restaurants, blah blah. But I mean, I'm not really into the tourist thing when I'm on. I mean, I do a lot of travel with my wife, and that's what I regard as a holiday. When I'm on tour, it's not like a holiday because, you know, especially if you're living on a tour bus, it's not like it's particularly glamorous or anything. So,
yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I just like to chill. I do literally not very much on days off, to be honest. I just like to just watch movies and just be quiet, really. But I mean, like I said, it depends if you're on a tour bus. I mean, a lot of the time on a day off, you're usually traveling anyway, so it's.
Yeah.
They kind of. Can you say, excuse me a minute? I've just got to open the door. Someone's knocking on my door.
No worries.
2 minutes.
No
yeah,
worries.
Cheers, man. Sorry.
do.
Oh yeah, sorry about that.
No worries at all.
I just got up there. There's no fucker there. What's going on?
Could be the hangover going ding ding.
Yeah, maybe.
You never know. So you've been named one of the Peaceville Free. This includes people from My Dying Bride and also Anathema.
Yeah.
Was this because you were the first free bands to actually be signed to Peaceville, or was there a history to that?
It's probably the first way. It's probably because we were the first bands to sign. I mean, we were the first metal band to sign to Peaceville for sure. I mean, and then I think, oh, maybe he signed Autopsy before Paradise Lost. Oh no, I think it was PL. Then I think he signed Autopsy, and then after My Dying Bride came a little bit later, I think. But yeah, I mean, it's probably because we were the first, so. And plus we're British as well, I guess. Something to do with that,
And you're still around to this day with Bloodbath doing Peaceville as well. I mean, how's that relationship been able to keep so strong over the years?
I mean, we were on Peaceville for a couple of years, and we went to Music of the Nations, which was probably our most successful period with Paradise Lost. I don't think I even know anybody at Peaceville anymore. I mean, the original guy that ran the label, Hammy, he was the person who started the label and who we had all our dealings with in the old days. And then I think he sold it anyway. So I mean, I haven't seen Hammy for it must be nearly 20 years.
No way.
And I'm not even sure who runs Peaceville now. So I mean, but I personally haven't had any dealings with them at all. And this time I haven't seen. I mean, I know it's still based in Dewsbury, which is not too far from where I am, but I haven't actually seen any of the guys that work there now. So I'm sure I will do at some point. But
so on the final two questions, and this one's a random one. I always ask everyone to see their reaction and how they actually take this question, because it's a bit of a really weird question. It's an island concept question. Like, imagine you're stuck on a desert island and you only had two things to bring with you: one dish of food to last you for the couple of days, and one object you could not live a day without.
Yeah. I was going to say the internet, but that's kind of cheating, isn't it? Really? Can I have the internet?
if you can make a saltwater and sand-powered engine, then
yeah. Probably my food. It would have to be probably a nice curry.
Yeah.
Yeah. We kind of where I live, we're really spoiled. We've got so much, good curry houses and stuff. So yeah, curry. And then object, probably my phone. Probably is a bit predictable, but I fucking lost without my phone, I guess. So my phone with data enabled.
I'd bring mine only because on my phone I've got Snake on it, so I can just kill the days away. Like,
yeah. I mean, I also obviously I use it as a music player as well, so it's and video player. So yeah, my phone is pretty addictive, really.
And last question before we end: any thoughts to the fans? Like anything to look forward to?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, we're doing a bunch of festivals over the summer with Bloodbath, and we're looking forward to doing it. It should be good fun. And the album's out on the 17th, which isn't long actually. It's quite soon, isn't it? So yeah, check out the album. I can't believe it hasn't been leaked on torrent yet. Actually, I'm quite shocked by that. Actually.
I only found 2 tracks on YouTube, and I have a copy myself through Metal Temple because I had to review the album. So
yeah.
But either way, it is a very strong album, and I think by far it's one of the best Bloodbath albums I've heard in a long time.
Yeah, I saw your review actually. Thanks for that. It was a really great review.
You saw it?
I saw it. Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, that's great.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I was scanning for reviews and stuff. So yeah, no, that was brilliant. Thanks, man. So yeah, I mean, just check it. Just look out for us live next year. I guess we'll be doing about 10 festivals. So hopefully somewhere, in England and wherever,
Yeah, hopefully Bloodstock, please, Bloodstock.
Well, we'll see, man.
Of course. But anyway, Nick, thank you so much for your time. It has been a real pleasure having a laugh with you.
All right, man. Thanks very much. All the best to you.
Okay, and.